With the release of Minecraft 1.16's Nether update, everyone is pumped to figure out all the new stuff that they have access to. Because outside of the brand new biomes, the new mobs to contend with, and the new challenges to take on, there's still a lot more you can now do that you may not have expected. From tool gathering to resource collecting and even some block building, even respawning in the Nether. Here's a list of 10 things you can now do in the Nether that you could not do before. Alright, so we're here in the Nether, brand new Nether. Now, before we do anything else, we're gonna set some ground rules. We need to start in the Nether, because that's the whole point of today's video. We're assuming you cheated in to get a crafting table, otherwise this would be a silly list and quite large. You could, in theory, get here without a crafting table by finding a ruined Nether portal in the overworld, but we're gonna overlook that for now. Finally, this is only gonna be covering things that hadn't been possible before. Some things had already been possible, and we're gonna skip those ones. With that, it's time to get started surviving. First change for things you can now do in the Nether is make that crafting table. Located throughout the Nether are special new biomes, the Crimson Forest biomes as well as the Warped biomes, which are the same as the Crimson, but blue. Most importantly though, they are now the new source of wood. These Nylium trees are going to be the answer to our problems. So we're going to need to find wood for the crafting table. So we're going to adventure around until we find this Warped or Crimson Forest. Now, they're pretty populous. You can, in fact, look, there it is right there. You can find these biomes all over the place. And once you do, you can really begin your Nether journey. With any luck, it shouldn't be too remarkably difficult to get there without, oh boy, any immediate danger. Oh man, I'm nervous. Alright, this should be exactly what we need. So, don't mind if I do. We're going to go ahead and collect a lot of wood. Crimson stems, I suppose. These technically aren't trees, apparently. They're a form of overgrown mushroom. But for all intents and purposes, they act the same as wood. In that, when you try and craft them, you get planks of some sort. And with those planks, you can make that crafting table, as well as whatever tools you're going to need. So, we're going to grab a couple basic ones, or at least for now, the crafting table. Alright, we got 30 more logs. Let's head on back to the path. Here we are, and with a new crafting table and wood, we can now obtain tools. And that's number 2. Tools. All of them. Now, it should be obvious enough that once you gather wood from these special Crimson Nylium trees, you can do things like make wooden tools, wooden pickaxe, wooden sword, etc., etc. But we're going to get started with some stone tools, and for that, we're going to need blackstone, which can be found in basalt deltas. Basalt deltas are another new biome located in the Nether update, and they are home to numerous new types of blocks, but the one we need most is this one right here, blackstone. So, once again, it's time to head off on an adventure. These ones are a little bit rarer to find, but I don't anticipate any problems. I hope not. I suppose in the meanwhile, it may be a nice tip for you to be aware that now that we have easy access to wood in the Nether, we technically also have easier access to food in the Nether. Now again, this is one we've already had access to. That's the form of mushroom stews that you can use to replenish your hunger. So we've got some red mushrooms, we've already collected some brown ones, and of course, using our wood, we can make some lovely bowls. Now we can combine all those 3 items together to get some mushroom stew, and that will keep us nice and full. Oh, here we go. This is exactly what I needed. So check it out. We found our basalt deltas, or some kind of ravine of it. Interesting. I didn't know they could spawn like that. I don't know if this is going to be a safe drop or not. I'm going to mine down. Interesting note. You can mine netherrack and actually get the block using a stone or a wooden pickaxe, but if you were to try and mine some of this gold-infused netherrack, well, you won't get the netherrack, but you will get the gold nugget. As you can see, we still have 9 netherrack despite mining this, but now we do have some extra gold nuggets for our trouble. So down we go. Actually, this looks like a safe enough area to approach there. So check it out. We got our hands on basalt, but that is not what we need. What we need is this block right here. Check it out. We just got our hands on blackstone, the answer to our stone, tool, and weaponry needs. I'm going to go ahead and collect a whole bunch of this. I suppose we may as well upgrade our tool currently while we have the ability. So look at that. Stone pickaxe for our trouble. Beautiful. Blackstone will act as an ingredient option for most stone-related weaponry, rather. Some things still don't work for some reason or another, such as, I don't know, redstone-related things that require cobblestone, but for the most part, you can make furnaces, you can make stone tools, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to collect a whole bunch of this. We'll get back to you in a second. It's kind of eerie. We actually have not run into any mobs yet. That's me knocking on wood. I'm clearly not equipped right now. I don't even have armor yet. All right, we're back at the path. We've got plenty of stone tools. We even made a furnace using some of our blackstone. Now, with stone tools in mind, if we find a nether fortress, we can actually get some iron. And if we're lucky, some diamonds. Lucky for us, when I was exploring around the basalt deltas, lo and behold, right there, beginnings of said fortress. Now it's just a waiting game to see if we can find any chests that have, diamonds, of course. And with any luck, we might find some, hey, I'll take diamonds again. There it is. We might find some iron. The third thing you can now do in the nether is acquire utility blocks. Once you've gotten good tools, you can make some of these utility blocks. We've got some iron, some diamond, plenty of wood and stone. And access to this wood and blackstone lets us make the following that we could never make before. A furnace. Using planks and slabs, we can now make a new storage unit. The barrel. Taking a furnace and some stems that we found, we can make a new block for cooking, the smoker. If you're fortunate enough to find some gravel along your journey, you can collect some flint so that you can make a fletching table, which I believe is still useless. Yep, sure is. A jukebox. Killing striders for their drops of string will get you access to another item, which is the loom. And of course, with your iron, you can now make a shield. With all of these blocks now in our possession, we can move on to number 4, food. Multiple food sources are now available. You could go hunt some down, if you're feeling up to a challenge. That's because the new mob, the Hoglin, which will spawn in Crimson Forest and other areas, will drop food. Oh my goodness, and not without a fight though. Can we just, gosh, oh boy, easy does it guys, easy does it guys. Oh boy, they're literally all after me. This is not what I had in mind. Yeah, good, run. Look at them. Okay, maybe a bad idea. They're like about to kill me. Easy does it. There we go. Got what we needed. Now we just need to try and collect it. Whew. Look at that. Raw pork chop. And now that we have a smoker block, it's going to be easier than ever. I guess you can't use the stems as sources of fuel, but you can use other wooden objects like this useless jukebox, the fletching table, etc. We now have access to the smoker for very, very quick cooking. Go ahead and take the loom. I don't need that either. In the meanwhile, you can already collect some mushrooms for stew, which we've already seen us do. Or you can even find some ruined portals or bastion remnants for golden carrots and apples. Bastions are another type of fortress that will infrequently spawn in the nether, but they are home to some special loot. And ruined portals can be located periodically throughout the nether from time to time, with their own special treats. The 5th thing you can now do in the nether is establish new forms of light. Torches, lanterns, soul torches, and campfires can now be obtained. We're gonna head to another fortress for some wither skeletons and grab some coal. Alright, so here's our first victim. What's good? Give me the coal. Seriously, no coal? Come on, oh boy, literally one right there as well. Yes, wither skeletons are the only source of actual coal in game when they drop it. So if you could drop some, I would be thrilled. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm literally about to die. My gosh, please stay. Thank you, finally. So naturally, as a result, we can now make plain old torches by doing exactly that, but we can also take some of the iron we found and use the iron nuggets as well as that torch in order to make a lantern. Now though, with soul soil, you can make soul torches alongside soul lanterns with that same recipe from before, though with a soul torch in the middle. And of course, you can now make campfires using the different stem types as well as soul campfires. Number 6 is string, and we already kind of covered this one with our dear friend here, the strider. The striders, from time to time, will drop string on death. They're typically found near the bottom of the nether and can be coaxed into approaching if you happen to have a warped fungus on you. We're just a little bit shy of them being able to actually reach us, but if we were to build out just a little bit further, I have a feeling they're gonna want this tasty treat. So come on over. Yeah. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but jig is up. I'm actually here to kill you. Well, I mean, we already got the string, so I guess we can let him live. Now, number 7 on the list is leather, which you can get from hunting hoglins. It's a new source of leather. We could never get leather technically in the nether before, but this allows us exciting new opportunities to make leather tunics, armor, etc. Or, hey, if you're feeling a little extra, out of sticks. If you're feeling a little extra creative, item frames. You can also from time to time actually get leather by bartering with any nearby piglins. It's part of their bartering loot table. So Oh, wow. Actually, you just saw they tossed a whole bunch of it at me. Let's see, how much extra did we just get? Yeah, we got a whole mess extra leather. So, you got a few different ways to gather this new material. Next up are crossbows, or ranged weaponry in general. Now that string is a drop that you can get inside of the nether, you can make some of these ranged weapons. Ranged weapons, I almost said. Anyways, in order to do so, we'll go ahead and collect from your dear friend the Strider, and then naturally either draw yourself a bow, that's gravel, either draw yourself a bow, or take some of the iron you've collected, combine it with your different types of planks to get tripwires, and the moment you have tripwires, well, you can now get your hands on a crossbow as well, using sticks, iron, string, the tripwire hook that we just spoke about, and, well, a couple more sticks. Now, if you want ammo for this, well, you'll need to kill some skeletons. Now, we could have already crafted a bow prior to my mentioning of it, but skeletons already dropped those, so it isn't necessarily new. But crossbows are new. So you can get both one from crafting or from raiding bastion remnants, and I believe from time to time, killing a piglin that has one in its hand will give you that as a drop. You probably aren't brave enough to raid a bastion, so craft. Oh, I am insulted. Number 9 is you now have the ability to respawn in the nether, using the respawn anchor, which act as the beds of the nether. You can get everything you need for an anchor right here. The safest way to do it is to barter it with a piglin. So, remember all those piglins that we were hanging out with just a second ago? Well, if I don't recall correctly, I believe that they had dropped, yep, check it out, a whole mess of goodies for me, including what we really need here, which is crying obsidian. Ooh, wait. Although it looks like we were, oh, perfect. Crying obsidian in hand, we only need one more object in order to make this respawn anchor, and it's right there. Glowstone. Tell you what, it's a good thing I managed to collect all of this gravel, because it's going to make collecting all of the dust we need from this glowstone that much easier. With any luck, yeah, I'd say pretty close, so you'll go ahead and mine up glowstone. If you've got a silk touch, it's a little bit easier, but in all likelihood you don't have that if you were in fact starting in the nether. You'll need enough dust to grab yourself at minimum 3 glowstone blocks, which will be 12 dust, but if you want to power your respawn anchor, you're going to need a little more than that as well. Glowstone dust in hand, you can actually turn it back into actual glowstone blocks in your 2x2 or in a crafting table, and once you've got at least 3, as I said, you can make your respawn anchor as follows. Respawn anchor. But, as you can see right here, it is not actively being powered just yet. That's why we needed a little bit extra on the glowstone side of things. So you can go ahead and insert glowstone into the anchor, and with that, you can actually set your respawn. And the most exciting thing of all that you can now do in the nether, so exciting, is doors and pressure plates and stuff. Yep, that's right. Nothing more exciting than doors, pressure plates, buttons, and various other things you can do to build a nice, lovely shelter in the nether. I mean, hey, look at the options. You could press the button to open the door. You could sit on the pressure plate to open it. You can even right-click. It's pretty good. Now, believe it or not, there's still a whole bunch of stuff you can't do in the nether, but it sounds like a video for another time. So make sure you subscribe, because that video will be out in the coming days. We'll see you later.